Hey there. How are you doing today? I'm feeling well. I wanted to talk about a couple of different things here today. First and foremost, it's concerning for me that a lot of people see Christians as individuals who aren't quite there in the head. You know, if someone longs to be Christ-like, a lot of people will think that they're becoming mentally ill or something, and that's concerning. However, it also doesn't really surprise me, because as I always say, there's a war being fought here, and Christianity in this world is like an old memory. Most people's Christianity is like a dog who has never learned how to catch a frisbee, being taught how to open its mouth and grab that disc. Well, you can't teach an old dog new lessons. However, there's no reason why an individual couldn't break free from the collective think tank and learn how to be a child of God. The more I think about it, the more I'm beginning to realize that this life isn't about respect. Remember when you were at the playground in school, and because you're a kind, loving soul, someone would stretch out their hand to give you a high five, only so that they could take it away from you? It's kind of like that. And if they discover that you long for respect as much as you long to be respected, they'll probably disrespect you more often than not. Well, this life isn't about respect. You know, if you're at work and you're wanting to do the job one way and your boss wants it done another, and you say no, one time, 2 times, 3 times, 7 times, it don't matter how many times you say no. You gotta do it their way. I remember when I was younger, I didn't want to attend the graduation ceremony, and it's the same situation. It wouldn't matter how many times I would say no, how much I would tell them what I want. The only thing what matters for people is what they want, regardless of whether or not you're right, regardless of whether or not they're right. The truth doesn't matter in a dog-eat-dog world. The only thing that matters is yourself. And this world ain't about respecting others. This world is about making yourself appear like a better competitor than your opponent, to shine brighter than them, whether or not you're purer, whether or not you're more pure. This life is all about having more, having the most. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have it all? Well, I don't even want it all. In this world, I see a lot of people out there online talking and complaining that they don't feel like they have as much as other people have in this world. Well, I wouldn't want to be anything like a heathen, you know? The only thing I want is to make it to heaven. This world is just as I described. It's beyond repair. So focus on the path. Nothing else matters. Do what you can to remain sane. Do what you can to get by in this crazy world. But don't be jealous of anyone for having more worldly things, because at the end of the day, just because they have more worldly things doesn't mean they're even happy. Nobody knows what they're doing in this life. Nobody's in control, only God. When I think about the Bible from a non-biblical perspective, it makes sense that people would say the lessons discussed in the Bible, they're not fair. They don't make any sense. Illogical fallacies, as they say. Well, just because something isn't fair doesn't mean that that's not just the way it is, because truth is stranger than fiction. Why would God create a son who he sent into a world which he also created to save his children, of whom he also created, from a sin nature of which he also created, so they could be saved? It doesn't make any sense. Well, just because it isn't fair doesn't mean it isn't true. Puddle of Mud said it the best. Life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. Life ain't ever gonna bring me. And just don't bring me down. Certain things about the Bible that I've been reading recently, I'm reading Jeremiah right now, have been upsetting me, like how we all have evil in our hearts. God says to Jeremiah, tell the people of Judah and Jerusalem to forbid their ways and follow unto the Lord, for I will bring sudden destruction. And Jeremiah says, but the people will say, for it is hopeless, because we'll all follow our devices. We will all follow the imagination of our evil hearts. Now, why would God create us with evil hearts? So many things that just don't seem fair to me about biblical truths. But again, truth is stranger than fiction. And the more that you read the Bible, the more that you allow the Lord into your life, the more things will be revealed to you. Why would God allow so many of us to suffer for the rest of eternity? Life ain't fair. That's just the way it is. Why would God create a world like this, where so few people find the truth? Well, truth is stranger than fiction. And it is because we're all immature, and our knowledge is minuscule in comparison to the wisdom of the Lord. We would rather follow the imagination of our evil hearts than follow the ways of the Lord. In closing, I would just like to say that I found a place to rent, finally, after a month of searching and camping. So I'm safe and sound. Don't worry, family. You never had anything to worry about. As I told you, the Lord is taking care of me. God's going to provide for me everything that I need. God will provide for you everything you ask for. And this just goes out to all of my fellow YouTubers, because in this world, I suppose all I really wanted was to find my people. But the more I looked, the more I discovered that it's better to just remain alone in this world. I've always wanted some kind of intellectual communication, some philosophical camaraderie, but most people, they don't even really think about things. They just follow that golden carrot that's placed above a string. that's just there, and then it's just not, because it's always that far out of reach. But at least on YouTube, you know, people intellectualize their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So, you know, as corny as it may sound, all you YouTubers out there, I see you as like my brothers and my secondary family. So, I hope you all are doing well out there, and have a good night, and an even better tomorrow. ET out. See, no son of mine is wearing purple pants. But I've told you what I want, and what I want is purple pants. You will respect my ways, my wants, my needs, my desires. And you see, because that boy wanted purple pants so damn badly, he was never able to get along with his family for the rest of his life. But he was able to wear purple pants for the rest of his life, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. He got his purple pants on anytime he wants after the departure. Some do it this way, some do it that way. As long as you get the job done, I say it doesn't really matter which way you do it. Yeah, can I get a hey-o? This guy knows what I'm talking about. This guy over here on the left side there. Hey-o.